Mbappe reportedly blamed his teammates for ruining the season. Honestly, that is shocking when many believe that since Mbappe's arrival, Real Madrid could end up with 2 trophyless seasons. He now appears increasingly isolated inside the dressing room. On the other hand, Lionel Scaloni has reportedly been contacted to replace Arbeloa. So let's get into today's Madrid news update. Stay until the end so you don't miss any of the key information. Real Madrid is going through a decisive moment in its modern history. This club has never been a place for half measures, emotional compromises, or protected status. Here, you either embrace the greatness of the shirt, or the shirt eventually crushes you. And today, at the center of the discussions surrounding Madrid, one conclusion keeps growing stronger. The team needs clarity, authority, and a natural hierarchy. And that hierarchy seems to have already been chosen by the dressing room itself. According to several reports, a large majority of the squad now backs Vinícius Jr as the true attacking leader of the project, ahead of Kylian Mbappé. This is not a minor detail. It is not a harmless rumor. It may be the strongest sign yet of this uncertain transition period. Because when a dressing room chooses its man, it becomes extremely difficult to impose another face through prestige, marketing, or reputation alone. Vinícius is not just an exciting player. Season after season, he has become a symbol of resilience, personality, and growth. He has faced mockery, criticism, doubt, insults, missed chances, and endless debates about his finishing. Many judged him too early. Many forgot that at Real Madrid, great leaders are forged through hardship. Today, Vinícius is still standing strong. He answered on the pitch. He carried the team in major matches. He embraced the pressure of Europe's biggest nights. He improved technically, mentally, and emotionally. He learned how to fall and rise again. And in a dressing room full of competitors, that means more than 1,000 advertising campaigns. Players respect those who bleed for the group. They respect those who fight when everything is going wrong. They respect those who run, provoke, take hits, come back again, and decide games. Vinícius earned that respect. By contrast, Kylian Mbappe's situation appears increasingly fragile in the collective perception. No one questions his talent. No one denies he is one of the best players in the world. But at Real Madrid, talent alone is never enough. You need mental discipline. You need to accept sacrifice. You need to understand that no one is bigger than the institution. Several warning signs raise concern. Incomplete adaptation, occasionally negative body language, inconsistent defensive effort, less visible chemistry with certain senior players, and above all, the recurring impression that he is trying to exist alongside the group rather than fully within it. That is a huge issue in a club where unity often decides major campaigns. Real Madrid has seen this kind of story before. Massive stars arrived with enormous prestige, convinced that their name alone would establish the natural order. But Madrid does not work like that. The Bernabeu loves first, then judges without mercy. The dressing room admires first, then decides with pragmatism. If a player seems less committed than the others, if he gives the impression of choosing when to work, if he expects the collective to adapt more to him than the other way around, then the fracture begins. Slowly at first, then suddenly. What seems clear today is this. Vinícius is viewed as more of a warrior. And that word matters greatly at Real Madrid. It means refusing defeat, attacking every duel, defending when needed, challenging opponents, handling media pressure, absorbing criticism, and coming back stronger. Real Madrid built its legend with talented warriors, not fragile artists. Vinícius represents that spirit. Mbappé, despite his extraordinary qualities, sometimes projects a more distant, calculated image, less connected to collective suffering. And in a dressing room filled with fierce competitors like Valverde, Courtois, Bellingham, and Rudiger, that kind of perception carries weight. The tactical reality makes the discomfort even stronger. Mbappé and Vinícius naturally like to attack similar spaces. Starting from the left, driving inside, attacking the half spaces, using speed in transition. On paper, combining two offensive superstars sounds logical. On the pitch, balance is more complicated. When two stars want to breathe in the same zones, someone has to give way. Someone has to reinvent himself. Someone has to accept a less natural role. If no lasting compromise exists, the team loses fluency. The ball moves slower, passing patterns break down, automatism disappears. And in this specific case, many inside the club seem to believe the player worth protecting is Vinícius, because he has already proven he can carry Madrid on its biggest nights. It may be hard for Mbappé fans to hear, but sometimes the best decision for everyone is a quick separation rather than endless struggle. Real Madrid does not need a permanent soap opera built around egos, preferred zones, status frustrations, and constant adjustments. The club needs a clear project. If Mbappé does not fully integrate into the collective spirit, if the dressing room clearly leans toward Vinícius, and if their coexistence limits the team's overall output, then there must be courage to say the truth. Turning the page may be the best option. Mbappe's departure would not be an admission of failure by Real Madrid. On the contrary, it would be a demonstration of institutional strength. It would mean nobody is untouchable, that the badge comes before names, that sporting coherence matters more than media prestige. Many clubs become prisoners of their stars. Historically, Real Madrid always ends up choosing the institution. That cold realism is what has kept the club at the top. Imagine a squad fully centered around Vinicius, Bellingham, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and a new clear attacking structure. Fewer hidden tensions, fewer daily debates over who should be the face of the project. Less tactical confusion, more collective energy, more shared responsibility, more coordinated pressing, more hunger. It guarantees nothing, but it restores a clear identity. And Real Madrid often wins when it knows exactly what it is. Another hot topic is the possible arrival of Lionel Scaloni as manager. And once again, the danger is real. Scaloni achieved something remarkable with Argentina. He built a united, intense, disciplined group around Lionel Messi. He deserves respect, but succeeding with a national team is not the same mission as managing Real Madrid's dressing room every single day. These are two completely different worlds. With a national team, you have limited time, short camps, patriotic emotion, and natural urgency. At a club, you live daily with unhappy substitutes, agents, non-stop media pressure, fixture congestion, rotations, possible cliques, and egos that must be managed without letting them explode. Real Madrid is not a training ground for learning how to coach stars. It is the highest level of constant pressure. Managing Vinicius, Bellingham, Courtois, ambitious youngsters, established leaders, and possible unhappy players requires monumental authority. An unquestioned presence, the ability to impose rules immediately, daily elite-level experience. Nothing guarantees Scaloni can instantly transfer his international success into the volcano that is Madrid. People already say it. He managed Messi, so he can manage anyone. Too simplistic. Messi with Argentina was a sacred figure backed by an entire nation. The group organized itself around him. At Real Madrid, there is no single center of gravity. There are several suns trying to shine. Vinicius wants to be the attacking face. Bellingham wants to lead a generation. Young players want minutes. Veterans demand respect. The media wants drama. The board wants instant success. That environment requires a coach capable of surviving chaos, not just uniting emotion. Scaloni could even arrive at the worst possible time. If the Mbappe issue remains sensitive, if the dressing room is already divided over certain hierarchies, and if the team is searching for a new direction, then appointing a coach who still has to prove he can dominate a superstar club dressing room would be a risky gamble. Real Madrid does not need a gamble. It needs certainty. A great Real Madrid coach must have three non-negotiable qualities: natural charisma, absolute tactical standards, and political courage. Charisma to be heard from day one. Tactical excellence to improve the team beyond individual talent. Political courage to bench a star if necessary, challenge senior players, withstand media storms, and never be intimidated by names. Does Scaloni offer all of that in Madrid's ultra-demanding environment? It is a fair question. The most worrying scenario would be the classic one. Celebrated arrival, positive start, then first frustrations. One attacker complains about his role. Another says he defends too much. A senior player rejects rotation. Results dip for 2 weeks. The press attacks. Rumors explode. The dressing room tests authority. Suddenly, the promising coach looks vulnerable. In Madrid, everything moves fast. Too fast to learn on the job. The club must therefore make strong and coherent decisions. First decision. Clarify the sporting leadership. If Vinicius is truly the dressing room's man, the project must reflect that. Second decision. Resolve the Mbappe issue without sentimentality. Either full commitment and full adaptation, or a clean separation. Third decision. Choose a manager already equipped for Madrid's jungle, not just an attractive name of the moment. Some will say this sounds harsh toward Mbappe, but Real Madrid has always been harsh in its standards. Cristiano Ronaldo had to deliver every season. Zidane was criticized. Benzema went through storms. Nobody escapes the court of greatness. If Mbappe wants to stay and succeed, he must overturn the current perception through major actions. Relentless pressing, sacrifice, visible connection with the squad, humility in his role, and decisive performances. Otherwise, the debate will never stop. And if that change does not come, then departure would be logical. Because Vinicius earned the right to be the priority. Because Bellingham represents the future of leadership. Because Valverde embodies the club's ideal mentality. Because Real Madrid cannot waste time balancing sensitivities while Europe grows stronger. Modern football loves giant marketing posters. 2 stars together, 3 stars together, 4 stars together. But trophies do not reward posters. They reward structured, Clear, hungry teams. If one superstar disrupts the clarity of the project, the name does not matter. Action must be taken. The final message is simple and direct. Real Madrid must choose hunger over reputation. It must choose the fighter already rooted in the club over prestige that remains uncertain. It must choose a coach capable of commanding immediately over a romantic gamble. It must choose identity over noise. Vinicius suffered for this shirt. He grew with this shirt. He won with this shirt. That matters. Mbappe, meanwhile, still has everything to prove in this specific house. If the dressing room has already decided in its heart, the board would be wise to listen. As for Scaloni, his story with Argentina is beautiful, but Madrid is not a fairy tale. Madrid is an arena, and in an arena, only those who impose their law from day one survive. Real Madrid does not need hesitation. It does not need to flatter names. It does not need comforting illusions. It needs cold, powerful, immediate decisions. If that means Mbappe leaves, then let him leave. If that means rejecting Scaloni, then reject him. Because Madrid's greatness was never about following trends. Its greatness has always been about doing what others do not dare to do. Thanks for watching the video. I'm counting on you to subscribe and share.